Hi beautiful people, so welcome to another video. Thank you so much for deciding to stop by. Please be sure to click that button and subscribe. Today I have decided that I'm going to do a video that is pretty relevant for most of us. Because of COVID-19, we have been flung online. So many of y'all are thinking about how to digitize, how to optimize, how to really just, get traction on your business or on your page. And I'm basically going to share with you some tips and tricks that have worked for me. So before I even jump into it, I just want to say, guys, your girl ain't a digital expert. Right? So all of the whole SEO numbers, all of that thing, no, I'm just going to be sharing with you what has worked for me so far and how I have been able to create traction on my social media and a continuous amount of visits and traffic. Alright, so guys, this is going to be a quick video and I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can get traffic to your website. And as I said, these are tips that have worked for me. Alright, so the first things first, and y'all see that I got my trusty notepad, so yes. The first things first that I want to say is I strongly believe that social media is creating an alternative for websites. Yes, I have said it. I know some of you all might be, oh my god, did she just say that? And yes, I did. So many people in this period of time are running out to go and build a website, and my take on it is that before you should even run out to go and build a website, you should be thinking about how are you using social media. Here's why I think that social media is really giving websites a run for their money. Social media has been optimized to the point of allowing for e-commerce, allowing for you to really engage with your audience in a very direct and informal way, which is very hard to do on a website. What social media does, which a website doesn't do, is it gives you such a close connection with your audience. So you're able to ask your audience about their opinions on products, you're able to garner market research, you're able to even speak to your target audience and get real-time feedback from them. And this even plays out in your introductions with people, or when people introduce themselves to you. If they introduce their business, it's highly unlikely these days that they say, oh, check out my website, www.mybusiness.com. They tend to show you their Instagram page. They tend to direct you to some form of their social media platforms. So even the way that people are doing business now has largely incorporated social media into the equation of introductions. So while so many people are going out and building websites in this time, I would actually suggest that you have a look at your social media and how you are using social media at the moment, because there is significant power in it. It makes no sense for us to have a website that looks great and is easy on the eyes and you don't have an audience. And guess what? Your audience is most times on your social media platform. So let's really think about building your social media first, rather than just running to a website, building a website and having nobody to visit it. So now that we have accepted the role that social media plays and the fact that social media can be an alternative to a website, I strongly suggest that you approach social media with that perspective. That means that you need to have a bio that is very clear, stating who you are, what you do, and it should also have the link to your website if you do have one. The thing that I see a lot of people doing is listing a lot of things about what they do. So you're a pilot, hairdresser, masseuse, yoga teacher, like a whole array of things, and not really getting to the core of what your expertise is. So I really strongly suggest that you try to identify who you are and what you do, and do it so well and so clearly that people do not question it. It should also have some call to action buttons. So in Instagram, you would see that there is the opportunity to add a call to action button, such as book or email. So I'd strongly suggest that you do that as well. Next thing that I want to introduce is the use of social media functionalities. So on Instagram in particular, and I will be talking mostly about Instagram in this video because that is predominantly where I reside on the social media spaces. With regards to Instagram, there is so much engagement options that the platform makes available to you. So for instance, polls to questions to rating, the slide rater, to even DMs. So please, 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 this is another great opportunity to speak to your target audience. Your website does not do that for you. Yes, there are Autobots that have 24/7 chat, but I don't think it is as reliable and as in real time as these polls and engagement tools that social media offers. The next thing that I want to say about social media is that you do not need to be on every single social media platform. No, you don't need to. I don't know who told you that, but please throw it in the bin, take it out of the mind, and don't revisit it. You do not need to be on every platform. What I consider as the big four, that those are the ones that you should be on, and that is Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. YouTube here, which is very good, is great for persons who already have an audience or persons who have more of a vlog or influencer or personality that they're willing to share, or some type of skill or service skill that they're willing to share. I think if you have a product or a service, it can be a bit difficult to be on YouTube, and it should not, I would not suggest it as the first option. Now, with regards to Facebook and Instagram, it allows you to cross post on these platforms, so that is great. And with LinkedIn, if you want to connect with organizations or senior persons, LinkedIn is excellent for it. With regards to Twitter, Twitter is really good for creatives who are in the space of writing and who are really, trying to engage and create a brand voice of their own. I think Twitter is excellent for it because it is really a conversational platform. With regards to being on all of these platforms, I think if you have to select a particular platform to be on, you really should assess, why are you on this platform? What are you trying to get from this platform? If you are somebody that is trying to create a brand voice and you want to be conversational, then Twitter is the place to be. If it is you are trying to target millennials, I don't expect you to go on Facebook. I would expect more Instagram. If you are somebody that is trying to share your life on a day-to-day, I would expect something not necessarily like LinkedIn, but more like Instagram or YouTube. So I want y'all to really get clear on what you are using these social media platforms for and make it work to your benefit, right? And finally, I want to talk about promotions. So promote. Now, should you be spending a bag and a half on promotions? And my answer to that is no. When you look at promotions and the success of promotions, it really comes down to what are you promoting in terms of content. So I think if you're going to promote something, it needs to be something that is extremely engaging, and it needs to be something that is shareable. The more shareable content you have, the better for you. And when I say shareable, that means that it is so engaging and it's so relatable that people are inclined to forward it to friends. So even when we look at big brands and their sponsored posts, we're seeing a lot more videos, and it's because of how interactive videos can be, and that people tend to click on those things and look at it even more. So I would strongly suggest, yes, promoting, but of course being very intentional about what you are promoting. In terms of a budget, I don't necessarily have a huge budget, so if I were to promote a picture or a video, I usually just spend anything between 5 to 20 US on it, and I focus it on my target audience, and that is it. And I generally tend to get followers from the promotions, and that is really what you want to see. If it is you have promoted something and you're not getting followers after it being promoted, it might be a couple of things. One, that the content was just not relatable. Two, that you might have to tweak your target audience. Or three, your captioning is an issue. And I wanted to say that captioning is really important in promoting your content and also in posting. All right, make sure that you have an engaged caption and that your brand voice really speaks. So guys, what I want to say is that we are in uncertain, unfamiliar, uncharted territory, and I think it's such a great time to be alive to witness all that is happening and all that is changing and the transition and evolution that so many of us are going through. Y'all, I am really excited about this space. I feel so productive and so creative, and I don't know if some of you all feel this way as well in this time, but listen, tap into your creativity at this time. I also want to say that, you know, before we lived in a labor economy where we would exchange our work for a wage, and that is the way that we would create an income, and that is the way that we would create and generate a wealthy economy. Now what we're seeing is much more of an identity economy, and that is related to us placing or attaching a value on items which would reflect a concept of ourself. So if we purchase something, it is because it resonates with who we are. And I think that that's really important to keep in mind as we continue to transition, because more and more you would start to see people's identities expand and people's identities be emphasized. And it's so important for us to really create our identity and our voice on this digital platform and on these virtual spaces, because that is the direction in which the job market and the labor economy is going. So be on this wave, ride this wave, and build up that identity. The more that you build up your identity and you find a tribe and you create a tribe, the easier it is for you to really build your business and get traffic onto your website. So guys, as I said, that was a very short video. 5 quick tips on how to get traffic onto your website and how to really get engagement and more traffic on your social media as well. As I've said, social media is creating an alternative to building a website, and I want you all to just remember that identity economy is the time that we are in. Build those identities and really capitalize on the platforms and the engagement tools that you have to get closer to your target audience. I absolutely hope that this video was helpful. Thank you so much for coming and checking this video out, and I shall see you in my next video. Live bravely, create bravely, love bravely, go bravely. Bye.